Hey everybody, Brian here, back with the games I beat for November and December 2021. First games of the new year, that's special. We'll start off with a game. This is the only game I've ever beaten in this series, and it's on a system I don't play enough of, and that's the Xbox 360. And the game is Splatterhouse on a 360. I got this game in the exchange in January or April 29th, 2012 at 12:04 p.m. For $14. Along with it, I got Rocky Road on Super Nintendo, Mario Golf on Game Boy, and Beyond Good and Evil for Xbox. I saw this receipt, so I wanted to take a look at it. So I don't play a lot of Xbox games. I haven't finished a lot. I think I finished Ninja Gaiden 2, this, and that's probably it. So I wanted to make a conceited effort this year to play more 360 games. So I started off the year with this one. I'm not familiar with the Splatterhouse series at all. I think I heard of it, and in this game, it allows you to play the other previous three games, which I played around with the first and second one, and it's pretty fun. This is a beat 'em up. Um, really bright, colorful graphics. I think in some parts the blood really sticks out, is really like bright on the screen. So when you start the game, it throws you in like a tutorial fight, and it kind of you're fully powered up, and you kind of mess around with the sticks and the controls, and you get used to it. And then it slows down a little bit, and you go from room to room, and you hear the person talking, steals your girlfriend, and you have to find her. And it slowly introduces more moves. You get like points for beating enemies to unlock. And about 15 minutes in, you can unlock and upgrade yourself and do more moves, and your moves get more powerful. There's a charge attack where you hold Y or X and you do like a stomp, and there's simple combos. I'm not too good at doing combos. But if you've in these games, but you can find one or two that works, and I kind of stick with it, so I don't have to memorize, and my mind gets in my way, and I end up doing nothing. Um, the music is not that great. It's been done by a band, but it's kind of forgetful. It's okay. It's not bad or anything like that. But the really fun part about this game is basically the over the top violence itself. It's comical. When you hit people like demons, you're not killing people, but these demons, blood splatters out. You get like chainsaws, and you get shotguns, and you can just splatter a house up. You go to the West Mansion, which is the mansion from the first games, I think, and you're searching for your girlfriend. And the game's fun. It's very fun to just destroy people. There's like finishing moves when they glow. You can like rip their limbs off, and you do like the control sticks in a way or towards, and you can like pull their limbs off, or pull out their arms or whatever. And it's like an instant kill, and it regenerates some of your health. So you want to do that as much as possible. Um, I think there's difficulty seconds. I did play it on. I don't remember what I played them on. I want to say normal, but I could be mistaken. No, I think I played it on easy. I'd have to check. My gut wants to say easy, and it was challenging enough. No, wait, I played it on normal, and it was very challenging. I think easy would tone the difficulty a little bit. Either way, if it was easy, it was still a fun game. It did drag on near the end, and the last boss fight was a bit of a disappointment. Instead of a boss fight, you kind of just have to survive and protect your girl, Jennifer, who's like on this sacrifice table. Before the boss gets to her from wave after wave of monsters. It did drag on it a little bit near the end, but it was quite fun. It came out in 2010. It was on the PS3 as well. And the good thing about it, it unlocks the other three Splatterhouse games. During points of the games, you can unlock your progress, and it'll unlock the actually arcade games. There's 1, 2, and 3 on this Genesis. Which is kind of cool. I played a little bit of 1 and 2, and they're pretty fun. I wanted to go back more to them. I do eventually want to beat 1 and 2, because they were fun enough. And I'd like to try 3 too. But one step at a time, I'm dipping my toe into Splatterhouse. And this is not a bad game to start with. I think it's pretty fun. I don't play enough modern stuff like this. Mostly play classic. And this was a fun game. we got next. Sorry, just looking at my list here. Oh yeah, one I can't show, but I quite enjoyed was Terranigma. Um, I streamed it on YouTube, and I mentioned I haven't. I got a few people in there that watch me, thankfully. And Lemon Shark, one of them, mentioned that if I ever played Terranigma, I said no, I wanted to. I kind of wanted to get around to it, and she kept bugging me and bugging me until I finally played it. And I played it. It took me longer than it should because of one area, and specifically in a town where you had to find the dog. It's a fun game. I was expecting a little bit more than what I got from it. I heard it was amazing, and it was good. Um, it's basically the quintet's other game that we never got. We got ActRaiser, we got ActRaiser 2, we got Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, but we never got Terranigma. It has themes much like ActRaiser and Soul Blazer of rebuilding the world. And it has Illusion of Gaia and ActRaiser or Illusion of Gaia, Soul Blazer. They all have themes tied together, and you could see that with, I think Turbo the dog was in there. A lot of references and stuff were made. I think Will was mentioned in Terranigma, or it could be a different Will. But it's a fun game. The soundtrack was great. The graphics were amazing. The Mode 7 effect was very, 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 very cool. But yeah, it was a good game. It takes place all on Earth, and it was funny to see their look of what the Earth looked like. Like the Great Lakes were, and there was Chicago you go to, and the Great Lakes were like there, and then Canada was up here, and then you had Brazil, which is like a soccer-loving country, and they always partying all the time. It was cool to see their take. It was a fun game. I'm glad to finally play it. I always wanted to, so thanks, Lemon, for bugging me until I play it. Next up, we have one I can actually show. Got this for Christmas from my mom and dad. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Ori Collection. This has Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will-o'-the-Wisps. Can you see it there? These are Metroidvanias, if you will, exploration platformers, or search action games, whatever you want to play. Call it. It's platformers with really good visuals, really good music, and you're gated exploration where you can't go to a certain area until you get an item or ability to go back to that area, and you go and you can go a little bit further. You've played Metroid type games, but these are different in that the fact that it's very charming story. The graphics are amazing. The music's great. I think I played this at the beginning of the year. I've just binged through both of these one after the other. They were fantastic. The first Ori opens with like a open where you control your character during the story, and something happens to the tree, and then you have to go on a quest to kind of restore the tree, I believe, if I recall correctly. A very fun game. The battle system on it, on the first Ori, is not the best. You just mash a button and light comes out, and then it hits. And you can get an upgrade tree to upgrade that, so more light comes out and it goes farther. You can fire them off more. And it has like a cool upgrade tree where you put points into like either traversal and movement or like fighting. The second one improves on the first one in every way possible. With the fighting is more beefy. There's a sword you can use, and it feels really good to hit people with your sword. That improves on that aspect. It's a little bit longer, not by much. There's a lot more abilities. There's like a hub world, like a town where you can rebuild and help people with quests. Just a really touching story ties back to the first one a little bit. I can't remember quite the story of it, but it was enough to let me tear up a little bit. These are fantastic games. They're all in one collection now. I think this is on Switch and as well as PS4, I'm going to guess. But if you never played the Ori games and you like Metroid type exploration, platformer, search engine, whatever you want to talk, with great musics, a great time, great graphics, just fun to addictive exploration, give these ones a try. Either one, play any of one of them. They're great. They're not too long. I think they took me like 10, 12 hours each to get through. And I think I got 100% map completion on both of them. And it was a joy each time. Actually, seeing here, you don't really get much. You do get a code for a soundtrack, which I already took, so. And get this cool, like, little art in the back, if you get the Switch version of, like, part of this world. And I got these little cards with it, too, but this stuff, you know, I never really open. I'm never going to use these postcards, like, I'm not going to mail a postcard from Ori. Like, maybe if I knew somebody was a big Ori fan, I might get a kick out of it. But that's pretty cool. Yeah, fantastic game. I highly recommend it. They go on sale regularly, and there is a physical edition. I will say that the second game crashed on me quite a bit, at least 4 times. But luckily, this game saves your progress like every 5 minutes, so I could go back and not lose too much progress. You can go back a lot, and it saves you up to like 8 saves you can go back to. And that's pretty cool. So yeah, it's a little buggy, but it looks amazing. Amazing they got this game running so well, because it looks like incredible. Yeah, very good game. Almost after playing this and like Blasphemous a few months ago, I've been kind of burnt out a little bit on Metroid type games, so I don't want to play too many of them, but I don't see how they can improve upon this genre too much after playing Blasphemous and Ori. Like, those games are just amazing. Any one of those games, Metroid type games are like a dime a dozen now, so you can get kind of gorge yourself on them, but man, I can't imagine those type games getting better than this. Where can you go from here? I don't know. Next up, a few months ago, on one of my videos, I mentioned I played Ys Book 1 on the PSP. And after that, I said, I'm not going to play the second right away. So this, in November, I picked it up. November, December, I picked it up and finally finished Ys 2. I didn't quite... I remembered I was in a tower at the end of 1. This takes place after... I think you fall from the tower and you're in a different land of Ys this time. It's a lot longer of a game, and you have magic this time. The first Ys, I think there was a level cap at level 10. This one you can go a little further. It's longer. You have magic. I can't remember much about it. I remember I enjoyed it quite a bit. I do remember the last dungeon was quite a maze and quite a journey to get through. I had to grind a few areas, but in Ys, if you're ever stuck, just grind. There was somebody I was trying to find. I think I had to look up somebody at the last dungeon of who I had to talk to or something. But very cool game. I'm glad I finally played the first Ys games. The PSP versions are pretty good ways to play them. I didn't have any problem. You can play between like the sharp, there's 3 different soundtracks on here. Different stills where you can go between like the original, the book, the Turbo CD ones, and then the other version, and then this version or something. Asteria, that's the name of the... Dharm Tower, that's where the first Ys takes place, right up there in Dharm Tower. Right there. And then I think you fall from it. Trying to remember. But I played this one, Ys 2, and Ys 3, which I really liked on Super Nintendo. Those are my Ys games I played. I do have Ys 7 on PSP I want to play. Hopefully this year. I haven't been playing... I've been playing a lot of Dragon Quest, so I haven't been really banging out games lately. But I do want to play... I should say I have been replaying a lot of games I've already played, so I haven't been beating any new games lately. But sometimes you want to play old games as a comfort, especially now. I'm kind of wanted to. But this the instruction goes through the land of Asteria, the ancient land of Ys. Your characters, you have Adol Christian. I know SNES Mapper and Terry309 are big Ys fans. I'm new to the series, but it's cool that I have a whole series to go back to. And I quite enjoyed what I played of this series. The music is outstanding in this series, too. I do have this. This is on the it was on the Wii Virtual Console. I have that version. PSP. I think on Steam you can get them relatively cheap. I think they're up to like Ys 9 now, plus Ys Origins. And like I said, Ys 2 has magic, so it's a little bit beefier. They have kind of like maps and stuff for the first games. It's a lot beefier of experience. But fun games, very fun games. I'm glad I finally played Ys 1 and 2. I can't imagine like playing these games when they came out on Turbo CD, or even the Master System, or the first one I think came out. Would have been pretty cool. And yeah, it's Ys 2 I beat. Next up, we have an arcade brawler. But actually, I think this was Genesis exclusive, maybe? I'm not sure. Golden Axe 2. The first Golden Axe I never beat. My friend Brett had it, and we used to play it because he had a Genesis. I did not. I just had an NES, Super Nintendo. It was a fun beat-em-up. I still like the first Golden Axe. This one's just like it. In fact, it's hard to tell them apart unless you played a lot of them. A lot of the first and second. But it's a lot easier. I was able to beat this my first time through. That doesn't mean it's bad, but I think between the first and second, either one's good. But if you want an easier time, go for Golden Axe 2. You can see that cool sprite of the dragon. That's like dragon magic you have. Really cool. That guy is ripped, man. What's his name? Well, Gillian Thunderhead's the dwarf. I forget the guy's name and the girl, but man, they're ripped. And I don't have the manual, but here's the cart. Fun game. I like beat 'em ups, and Golden Axe was one of the earliest ones I did play. I think I played this before Final Fight or Streets of Rage 2. Before Golden Axe, I think I played like the 2-player version of, I think, or Double Dragon 2 was my first real beat 'em up, probably. But this game's great. Oh, you know what? I think I have another game I beat, but I did not. Let me check real quick before I go to the next one. 1 second. Bear with me. I did. I forgot to get Shinobi. Okay, let me get the other game. I'll be right back. Here it is. I got it. I can't believe I forgot to get this. This is like one of my favorite games I beat this month. Okay. Sorry about that. But it's Shinobi 3. Return of the Ninja Master. My Shinobi experience is I played a little bit of Revenge, like not much of it, and I played a lot of the 3DS one, which is really good, but I never beat it. Sorry. But I never beat it. This game's great. It's fantastic. A later Genesis game, very fun to play. I mean, just as soon as I beat it, I went through and I did it again. It's just fun. The controls are great. The music's fantastic. It's not too difficult. It's difficult, but it's not overly difficult. Um, you have, unlike the other Shinobis, you have like a sword attack when you're close by. You can do like a dive kick, I think. Um, you can upgrade your shurikens to do power. You have your ninja magic like the other Shinobi. It's just fantastic. One of the better Genesis games I have played. It's great. Yeah, I can't say much about it. It's a side scrolling action platformer. You play as a ninja. Joe Musashi, I think is Musashi. Um, the first level leaves a great impression with the parallax scrolling trees, and you go into these cool areas. You go to like a cave, you go into like a monster's lair, and he's in the background firing stuff at you. The bosses are freaking enormous. They kick up the like an entire screen. There's like a giant monster that attacks you, like this hideous like alien looking, this like blobious like mutant's head that comes at you. There's like a giant like Godzilla monster. Fantastic game. Just the music's fantastic. Yeah, Shinobi 3. If you've never played, I think it's on 3D Classics for the 3DS as well. It's great, 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 great game. After that, I still was on a Shinobi kick, and I wanted to play Shadow Dancer. So I beat this. This is Shadow Dancer: The Secret of Shinobi. This is the based on the arcade game, which got a Genesis kind of a port. I think this is kind of different. But it's a one-hit death, so it's a little more challenging, but it's fantastic. I beat it on the first level, so when you beat it once and then it unlocks a different difficulty, then it unlocks a different difficulty. So if you want to beat it truly, you got to go through it 3 times. It's like 3 different difficulties. I beat it on the first, almost beat it on the second difficulty, but I just couldn't get the bosses, beat that boss on the last on the. So I beat it on the first normal difficulty. This is great. It's earlier Genesis game. I think this came out in 1990. So first 1 or 2 years of the Genesis. You have a dog with you. You charge up your attack. You can release it, and it stuns the enemies, and then you can like hit them or get by them if there's a lot. You can use your dog to like get through tricky situations in occupied enemies. But beware, if your dog gets hit, he'll like yelp and then he'll go away for a while until he comes back. There's like a recharge meter or something. Very addicting game. Much like the arcade games are, except you don't have to worry about quarters. You do have limited continue, so it's quite the challenge to get through. Great fun though. I found a trick on the bonus levels to get extra lives. You want to hang near the left or right and just don't move when you're falling down. There's a bonus level where you fall down, you throw shurikens, and you hit ninjas coming out at you. So you want to get to left or right of the screen all the way and just keep firing. Don't move, and you'll get like all the ninjas and get like 3 ups. That'll help you get through this stage. Graphics for an early Genesis game, great. I mean, I was playing NES at the time. I mean, what games was I playing in 90? Dragon Warrior, Double Dragon 2, Mario 3. This game's totally amazing. I've never played it. And a lot of this Genesis stuff is just blowing me away even more so. Not just playing it, but realizing that I was playing NES when some of these games came out is like, wow, I missed out. This game's great. Between this and Shinobi 3, I'd say Shinobi 3 I like more. But this game's great. It's a little harder, but yeah, fantastic. And look at that cover. That is a cover. There's like a thug like holding a woman by the arm, and Joe Musashi has his sword up, and he's holding like a bat. Pretty cool. Next up, oh boy, Echo the Dolphin. My friend Brett also had this along with Golden Axe and Streets of Rage 2. And I could never get far in this, and it was always on my mind all my life. Not all my life, not like every day I woke up. But it's a game like, I should learn how to play Echo the Dolphin. So I finally sat down, figured out how to play this game, and beat it. Finally beat Echo the Dolphin. It was a blast. There were some parts in the middle that were really hard difficulty spikes. and I was loving it after that, and then I hit the last two stages, and I absolutely hated those last two stages. I think it took me like an all day just to memorize that last stage, and once you memorize that last stage, you get to a boss, and then you have to memorize the boss and then get to him, and if you don't beat him, you go all the way back. Boy, what a grueling drag that was, but I finally beat it. It has good ideas, and I enjoy parts of it. But those last two levels, man, wow, they really dragged the game down for me. I did enjoy it though, but it was frustrating too. There are many sequels which I'd like to try: Tides of Time, Echo Junior, a Defender of the Future for Dreamcast. But man, I'm glad I finally beat Echo the Dolphin. Finally learned how to play it. So if you don't know what Echo is, you're a dolphin and you're swimming with your pod. You're basically your dolphin people, your friends, and the dolphin says, "Hey, Echo, jump up into the sky and see how far you can get." So you go, okay, so you jump out of the water, and as soon as you jump out of the water, aliens come and suck up all the life in the sea, all your dolphin friends, and you go that down, and then it changes to this scary music, and it's very creepy. And then you have to search for your dolphin friends, and you find out what took up the dolphin friends are this alien species that comes and sucks the earth dry of sea light they use for their own devices. I forget why. But you have to go up through the tube that they suck, like a big straw. They sucked all your dolphin friends from, and you go up the tube. That's like an auto scroller like level, and then you go into their ship, and that ship level at the end before you fight the alien queen is freaking Huff, man. Huff. It's an auto scroller, a long auto scroller where stuff comes out of nowhere. You got to memorize every little bit. Very tough. I think it's Welcome to the Machine. But it has some gated exploration like a Metroid game. But it's not quite as like, you don't really get you get some abilities, like you can attack with sonar and your sonar gets more stronger, and you can speak with sonar, but there's not really much. There are gated areas, but you got to find like crystals, and then you can go break those gated areas. It looks amazing. It has a really neat soundtrack, kind of ethereal soundtrack. I'm glad I beat it, but man, oh man, I hope the other games tone that down a little bit. This game was made for kids, man. Come on. Next up, we have, oh boy, did I have fun playing this game again. I beat the original, and here's Legend of Zelda. I beat this before as a kid, but I never beat the second quest, and I wanted to always beat the second quest. Or not always, I was like, this is something I should do. Zelda is a game that my friend Brett, as I mentioned, had, and I had, and I think I got most of the secrets of the first quest from him, or we found and back and forth, or Nintendo Power, or whatever. I don't have to say much about Zelda. It's a classic. It's very open. There's exploration. It's very a sense of wonder, and it's just fun if you like that sort of thing, like burning every bush and stuff. There is a second quest. You get it by beating the game, and it'll say a new quest continues. Press start, or you can type Zelda as your name. I tried playing through this on the Switch, and I got so far on the second quest, but I could not do it with that crappy D-pad that they have on the Joy-Con buttons, or even the D-pad on the Pro Controller. It's rubbish. So I booted up my NES, and finally I could say I beat the second quest on The Legend of Zelda. I did not look up anything, and I was very fortunate after looking for level 7 or 8's exit is below Death Mountain on a... you have to take your raft or your ladder and blow up a rock over a river where the Zoras are, and it opens up that one level. I found that by the clue. The clue said, south of here lies a secret or something like that. And I actually found that without looking up, and I heard that's one of the hardest parts on this game. The hardest part for me was finding like level 5 or 6, I think. Man, did that take me a while, but man, oh sakes, this is a second quest. If you haven't played it and you've played Legend of Zelda, if you like Legend of Zelda and you haven't played the second quest, it's like a totally different game. It's amazing that this game, like, I was totally into this game again when I was playing it. This game came out in 1987? Well, it says 87, 89. Some 87 Japan, 89 here, maybe. Yeah, I was totally into this game again. It sucked me right in. If you played Zelda, you like Zelda 1, and you haven't tried the second quest, give it a shot. There is some challenges to it. I'll just open up while I'm talking. But it's... Oh, look at this artwork, man. Look at this. They tell the story. The story is like 5-6 pages. It's in there. The graphics, text on here. The drawings. Look at all this stuff. The map. They explain how to game, look for underground labyrinths. They're telling you how to get to, basically how to play the game, ABCs. They explain everything about this game. So the thing is, if you sit down and play Zelda now without the instructions, I highly recommend you look up at least a PDF of what came with the game, because it explains how to play the game. It gives you maps and little tips. I mean, it came with the game. You have, like, all this stuff. It explained maps, enemies, how to play it, what to do, how to burn bushes, look for secrets, what you're expected to do. So when people say it's cryptic, yes, but if you have a manual and the stuff that comes with it, it explains all this stuff, and you can get through it. It's just if you want to get through it. If you find it fun at all, I would recommend The Legend of Zelda. Play through the first quest. If you like the first quest, play the second. The second does have some crap where you have to walk through a wall. And maybe I knew about that before, but I instinctively pushed up on every wall, so I must have heard about that before. That is some crap that they never explained, though, so that's kind of BS. But everything else, you can get through Zelda. It's an experience, man. Yeah, second quest is great. Here we go. And I beat, again, Zelda 2. I beat this before, around 2015 for the first time. Beat it again. This is my card. I don't have the gold cartridge. I just have this gray cartridge. This is a great game. I might like this one. I don't know. After playing the second quest, I always thought after playing this one for the first time, I thought I liked this one a little bit more than Zelda 1. But after playing the second quest, I don't know. But I would say if I were to replay one of them again, I'd probably play through Adventure of Link again. This game is tough, but I think the key to it is, this time I played it, you just grind at the beginning. Grind your levels, get your attack up, and that gets you enough boost to get through the hard parts of the early game. Play it like an RPG, which is kind of is. It's why I like it. It's more of an RPG than the other Zelda games. It has a leveling system. You get abilities to your weapons and stuff, up thrust, down thrust. It has a cool soundtrack. The Dungeon Palace theme is great. There's a sense of wonder to the sword fighting in this game. Like, you're one-on-one, just intense. Zelda 2 is a great game. I think a lot of people who bash it have not played it. That's the case with a lot of NES games. People who bash a lot of NES games don't actually play them. You got to sit down with them and play them and get their quirks and learn how they play. You'll get a new appreciation with them. Yeah, Zelda 2 is great. I had more fun playing through these next 3 games than a lot of newer games I get. And I don't get a lot of newer games anymore, but playing through this, Zelda 1, second quest, and this next game was quite a journey. This is my second time going through Legacy of the Wizard on NES. This is a great game as well. Not a lot of people talk about this game. The first time, my friend Bill had this, and we used to try to play, and we wouldn't get much far. We get to the first part. Very confusing. So I thought, okay, the first time I played this a few years ago, I read the instruction manual, it told me what to do, and I sat down and I did it. And what an adventure this game is. Basically, you start off... I explained this in last time a few years back when I first beat this, but it's an experience, man. It's a big open. If you thought the world of Zelda was large, this is like dwarfs it. It's a huge screen. Look on the map on this game online. So you have 4 party members: the dad, the mom, the sister, and the brother, who you get at the end only. You can use only at the end. Um, you can use them otherwise, but and each of them have their own parts of the dungeon that you identify by their music. The music changes. The father's really strong and he can move blocks, so when you get the parts with blocks, you know to take him. The Pokey, the pet, cannot be hurt by enemies, but he can't really jump too high, and he has a weaker attack. So start off with him, I'd say, because you can just walk through enemies; they don't hurt you. And the mother, who jumps, I think she can fly if you get the right item, and the sister, who's like can jump super high. Once you beat each of those areas, has a crown boss, and you beat the crown boss, you get a crown. When you get all 4 crowns, you can use the brother and going through a series of paintings, now that they're active with the crown, and find the sword. And once you find the sword, you fight the dragon, win the game. Pretty simple, right? Well, it's very maze-like and very, with the father's parts, very tricky. It has problems, like a lot of games do. This is part of the Dragon Slayer series, which is part of Faxanadu and that kind of series. It has problems for sure, but I would say read the instructions, look up on what to do if you get stuck, and you'll have a blast with this game. The soundtrack is amazing. The graphics are not great, but they're still good enough that you feel like you're there. The soundtrack's great. I had a blast playing this game. I'm so glad I captured this game on stream, because this game it's a classic, I think. You don't hear a lot of people talk about. Big learning curve, but like a lot of NES games, you got to put in time. If you enjoy it, it kind of gets it gets in your DNA. You want to play it more and more. A lot of NES games do. Something about the NES games, more than any other system, these older games just really get their hooks in me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's part nostalgia, just the graphics and music, but I think this game holds up. If you're looking for an NES game that's challenging and very explorative and very sense of wonder and just a sense of accomplishment when you do something, Legacy of Wizard's great. Great game. Okay. Next up, we have... Oh, yeah, I beat... So I got this game when it came out because of Sekida Sensu 3. I went through that game, loved it, because I never played Sekida Sensu 3, which is basically Secret of Mana 2, which is basically Trials of Mana. We never got it here. It was announced. I got this collection, which has Final Fantasy Adventure, Sekida Sensu, Sekida Sensu 2, which is Secret of Mana, and never before released Trials of Mana, Sekida Sensu 3. Played through Sekida Sensu 3 twice, loved it, was playing through it a third time. I lost my save, kind of got discouraged, never went back to it. But I wanted to beat the other games on it. So I picked up Secret of Mana. I think the last time I played Secret of Mana was 2015. That game starts off great, and then it just kind of pitters out near the end with the story. And too grindy with the weapons. You got to grind your weapons up and your magic up all the time, and you kind of get them fast and fast. Once you do it, you keep having to do it. It kind of slows the game down. But it's still, Secret of Mana, so I'm talking about, I beat Secret of Mana on here. Still a great experience, though. Its looks and sounds really, the look and sound of Secret of Mana really pulls you into it. Just hearing that music is just it takes me back, man, to when Secret of Mana came out. Great game, but it has flaws for sure. I don't know if I'd recommend out of this collection which one. I probably say 3 I'd recommend. Any of these, you kind of want to read up on, like, I don't know, like, all 3 of these have problems, but they're all great. I don't know. Out of these, I'd probably recommend Secret of Mana, just to play a little bit, and when you get tired of it, try another one. But yeah, it starts out strong, the story kind of loses steam, but it's still a fun game, fun time. And with save states, you can save anywhere. Yeah, that helps. So yeah, beat Secret of Mana on the Collection of Mana. And that's it, guys. That's quite the cornucopia of games and software I beat here this month for November, December. Been replaying a lot of games. So haven't been doing much new game stuff lately, but I do have a few games to talk about for next 2 months. So hope you guys have a great spring, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye.